A very good evening to all the dear students in online lecture series organized by Rajkumar, Kewalramani, Kanya, Mahavidyalaya, Nagpur. Today we have among us Dr. Kanchan Moharir Joshi as a resource person. Madam is working as an associate professor at Shri Niketan Arts and Commerce College, Nagpur. Today, Madam will have her presentation on Salman Rashdie's Shame. On behalf of the host institution, I welcome you, ma'am, and request you to engage the session. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam. First of all, I would like to thank Principal Dr. Urmila Dabir Madam for this opportunity, and I really thank you, Madhuri Moril Madam, to give me this opportunity and to interact with your PG students. Thank you. Shall I start?
Yes, please, ma'am.
Okay. A very good evening to dear students. Today, I'm going to talk about Salman Rushdie's Shame, an analysis of Salman Rushdie's Shame, the novel Shame. Salman Rushdie was born on 19th June 1947 in Bombay. He is an Indian-born British-American novelist. Rushdie's father was a prosperous Muslim businessman in India and his mother was a teacher. He was educated at Rugby School and then he studied at University of Cambridge. He received his master's degree in history in 1968. Rushdie first worked as an actor, and after his brief career in acting, he worked as a copywriter for the advertising agency. He primarily deals with connections, disruptions, and migrations between Eastern and Western civilization. Means the themes of his novels are mostly connections, disruptions, migrations between Eastern countries and Western countries. So Salman Rushdie is celebrated by his witticism and his courage to touch upon the themes like history, politics, and religion. So, as I have already said that he has a brief career as an actor. He worked as a freelance advertising copywriter in England from 1970 to 1980. His first published novel is Climax, appeared in 1975. Rushdie's next novel, Midnight's Children, which was published in 1981. A fable, this is Midnight's Children, is a fable about modern India, and it was an unexpected critical and popular success. Actually, this novel gave him a recognition on the international platform, and it won him international recognition and Booker Prize also for this novel in 1981. Then he is known for his novels including Midnight's Children, Shame, and the Satanic Verses. He won the Booker Prize in 1981 and for the Satanic Verses. Rushdie became an American citizen in 2016. But this Satanic Verses brought much allegations, death threats, then assassination against him, and including, you can say, fatwa against him. So this Satanic Verses was very, because of Satanic Verses, he had to face many consequences like fatwa. Salman Rushdie attacked the political circumstances and situations in Satanic Verses and behavior of the people, and he attacked the socio-cultural imbalance in Pakistan, you can say. Now we will see Shame. Shame is Salman Rushdie's third novel, which was published in 1983. Shame portrays the ethnic tension between Indians and Pakistanis. Shame delineates the lives of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto through the character Iskandar Harappa and General Muhammad Zia ul Haq through the character General Raza Haider and their relationship. So, Shame basically talks about the two very powerful personalities, that is Iskandar and Raza Haider, which was characterized after Zulfikar Ali Bhutto and Muhammad Zia ul Haq. So it is said that Salman Rushdie has attempted to illuminate Pakistan's hideous political realities in an extravagant satire. So you can say that this is means the Shame is a political allegory and it is an extravagant satire because all the characters symbolizes some actual characters in Pakistan, or you can say the politicians in Pakistan. So it is written in the form of magical realism. So magical realism, you know that it is a style, literary fiction and art, and it paints the realistic views of the world while adding magical elements. So in this Shame, we can see that some magical or supernatural elements as well, and it refers to it with magical or supernatural phenomena. So it is a political allegory, mean each character or event is a symbol represents idea or event or some characters. Now the central theme of the novel. What is the central theme of the novel? The novel portrays elements of family and marriage. We can see that some three families are involved. So the novel portrays elements of family, then the marriages and politics. Politics is the main theme, and culture, colonial and post-colonial concepts. So violence is the main theme which was born out of shame, and the concepts of shame and shamelessness are explored through the characters of Sufia Zenobia and Omar Khayyam respectively. So the heroine is Sufia Zenobia and Omar Khayyam is the main hero of this novel. So Rushdie focuses very much on women in the novel. In Shame, the main leading character is Sophia Zenobia. Then other women characters are also very powerful. Means these characters take the story ahead. So Rushdie focuses very much on women in the novel. The story is in the first form of narrative. So the use of first person narration, that is I. So in a novel is like a fairy tale, and the narrator asks so many questions in between the novel, or you can say that throughout the novel, like who is Sophia Zenobia, and but the novel reflects the life and incidents of history and politics of Pakistan. Now we'll see the main characters of Shame. Three families, as I have already told you, that three families are there. That is Shakil family, then Haider family. These are the two, and one more family is there. So we'll see Umar Khayyam Shakil is the main character, or you can say the hero of the novel, the main character of the story, who is raised by Chunni, Munni, and Bunni. So Chunni, Munni, and Bunni Shakil, these are the mothers of Umar Khayyam who were pregnant simultaneously. Means we never come to know that who is the real mother of Umar Khayyam, because they simultaneously they pretended to be pregnant, and one of the three sisters gave birth to Umar Khayyam. Then Babar Shakil is the second son of Chunni Munni Bunni. Then Raza Haider. Now Haider family. Raza is a political leader, and he is again a very important character. Raza Haider, a military man who marries Bilquis as a captain and is eventually promoted to general. So he is also the murderer of Babar Shakil. Now, Bilquis Haider is a wife of Raza Haider, and you can see the Raza Haider and Bilquis, their daughter name as Sufia Zenobia and Navid Haider. They have two daughters called Sufia Zenobia and Navid Haider. Sufia Zenobia Haider is a daughter of Raza and Bilquis Haider, and she is a heroine of the story. Born with developmental issues, she had some developmental issues and embodies shame. She marries Omar Khayyam afterwards. Navid is called as a good news. Navid is called as a good news, and Sophia is called as a embodies as a shame. So she is recognized as a shame. So Navid Good News Haider, younger sister of Sufia Zenobia Haider, and who is promised to Harun Harappa but marries Captain Talwar Ulak. Then Harappa family. Again, Iskandar Harappa, he is a politician and he is again the main character, and he is very much responsible for the storyline. Politician and playboy figure who is married to Rani Harappa, once a country leader, and overthrown by Raza Haider, and he dies in jail. So Rani Harappa is a cousin of Raza Haider and wife of Iskandar Harappa. Arjuman Harappa is a daughter of Iskandar and Rani, and she is a actually she's an aspiring politician and modeled after Benazir Bhutto, the former Prime Minister of Pakistan. So Harun Harappa, the eldest son of little Mir Harappa, who is promised to wed Navid Haider. Now, plot of the novel. So it is a story of the rise and fall of three families. Now we have seen that there are three families: Haider, Raza Haider, Harappa, and Shakil. So three families are there, and it is a story of rise and fall of these three families in a city known as Q. So Q is identified as a place, Quetta, in Pakistan. So this city is actually a version of, you can say, Pakistan. And Chunni, Munni, Bunni, these three sisters live in a big old house of their father after his death. But it is their house is located in Nishapur, and we can say that they lived in isolation after the death of their father. They lived in isolation, and they did not have any contact with the outside world. So one of the three sisters, Chunni Munni Bunni, gives birth to Omar Khayyam Shakil, but they act as a unit of mothers. I have already told you that we never come to know that who is the real mother of Omar Shakil. So he is supposedly born to three sisters, and their only access to world was through a dumb waiter. So one of the three sisters gives birth to Omar Khayyam Shakil, and they act as a unit of mothers, and they never revealing to anyone who is Omar's birth mother, and they decided to raise him up. Okay, so everything around Omar was a fantastic mystery because he does not know his own father. So everything was very mysterious. You can say including his birth, then about his father, and he left the boundaries of Nishapur to become an immunologist afterwards. Means then they decided, these three sisters decided to grow him up without any shame. That is very important, that they have decided to raise him up or grow him up without any shame, as shame is regarded as specifically female attribute. But they have decided, no, we are not ashamed of him, as we have given birth to him, and we will grow him up without any assistance of male figure. So on his 12th birthday, he leaves house, but he promised his mothers never to feel ashamed or never to feel shame. The plot shifts when Omar landed on a different place. So he left the boundaries of Nishapur and then he decided to become immunologist. He became doctor. There, when he shifted to other land, Omar makes a friends with Iskandar. Iskandar is like a playboy figure. Like Iskandar Harappa, he was very lustful man and he was a playboy figure. And Omar was also, he had his childhood in shut that fort. He was shut down in that fort. He was never allowed to go outside, and he had curiosity about everything. And he made friends with Iskandar, and he had many adventures with him. Ultimately, Iski marries Rani Humayun, and Arjuman is the daughter of Iski and Rani Humayun, who obtains the nickname. She had a nickname Virgin Iron Pants. She is modeled after Benazir Bhutto, I told you. Virgin Iron Pants for her steely determination. She was very determined to become a uh, big, you can say big shot. So determination to defeat the obstacles her gender places in the way of her achievement. She wanted to achieve much more in politics. And then it should not means her gender should not come in between, and that's why it is called as virgin iron pants. She rejects the gender roles. She was rebellion. She was, you can say she was rebellion, and she rejects all the gender roles. So Iski enters politics. Now Iski enters politics means he was a playboy, but then on his 40th birthday, he decided to enter into politics, and his rival is Raza Haider. So these two leading figures, Iski and Raza Haider, they both of them they wanted to gain power, or they wanted to become powerful. So Raza has a storied past of his own, and with his wife Bilikwas has two daughters, Sophia and Navid. So Raza, with his daughter Bilikwas, he was married to Bilikwas, and they have two daughters, that is Sophia and Navid, and they have been nicknamed respectively Shame and Good News. That is, we have already seen. So Sophia Zenobia is actually she is her mother's shame, because she is first born child, and her mother and father expected a boy. Actually her mother should, it was actually expected that her mother should give a birth to a boy. So Raza and Belikwas were so ashamed, they were so much they wanted to have son, and they were so much sure to have son. But then Sophia was born, and it was a shame, and that's why it is said that the nickname is Shame. So Sophia Zenobia, the daughter of Haider, is the heroine of the novel, and she is the personification of shame. She had a fever when she was a child, and she had got a fever, and it went into brain, and she became mentally disabled child, having a 9 years child brain, though her age is 28. Means she recovered from that fever, but then her brain stays there. Her mental age was 9, though she was 28. And then as Omar became immunologist, he became her doctor. Omar became doctor, and being a doctor, he was treating Sophia, and he fell for her. Sophia seems very weak on surface. Sophia seems very weak on surface, but reacts with passion and anger, you can see, in much more masculine way. Means ऊपर से वो बहुत फेमिनाइन लग रही है, नाजुक सी, और she has got a 9 mental age is 9, so she behaves somewhat childish. but she is very strong and masculine, much more masculine way than Omar. So it is shown that she becomes violent, and sometimes beast enters into her body. So it is a supernatural thing. Omar marries Sophia, and in between, Omar comes there, and then he became the doctor. He starts treating Sophia. When Navid is getting married, so Sophia attacked her husband, and that time Omar came. Omar came and he started treatment. But while treating her, he fell for her, he fell in love with her, and he marries ultimately. So Sophia seems to be weak, but within her grows a beast. We have already seen that because she attacked the husband, would-be husband of Navid. Sophia doesn't quite understand what her marriage is, and she cannot satisfy Omar. Omar sets himself with her ayah. Now, what is the ugly politics? Raza and Iski are the political competitors. So both of them, they wanted to gain power. They wanted to become prime minister. So Iskandar is depicted as a democrat, while Raza is shown as a militant individual with a strong belief in Islamic tradition. So Iskandar wanted best for Pakistani people. He wanted to actually he wanted to bring the development in Pakistan. He wanted best for the Pakistani people. But Raza had a strong belief in Islamic tradition, and he declared Islamic law. Then it is not mere ritual, but the superstition that faith brings dignity. So what, like, it was shown on the TV or television that Raza is bowing down or doing namaz for 5 times, and he wants his people also want to follow all the Islamic tradition. So it is not mere ritual but superstition that faith brings dignity. So they, as they are the competitors, and they're both of them, they have a different outlook, different philosophies, and so Raza and Iski, they were fighting with each other. So in the meantime, Iskandar is depicted as Democrat, and Iskandar became Prime Minister. So in the meantime, Iskandar became Prime Minister, and and then Raza was very much jealous for this Iskandar, and Iskandar became Prime Minister. But then afterwards, Iskandar, the Prime Minister, was overthrown by Raza. So he declared the Pakistan as an Islamic law, and he executed against Iskandar. He he kept him in the prison or in jail, and after 4 years he was murdered in prison. And that was the ultimate fate of Iskandar, who was very popular in Pakistan. You can say he was very popular, and but he died in jail. Not died, he was murdered in prison. And you can say it was ugly politics. And Salman Rushdie commented on this politics. Then what is the climax of the story? Raza, as Raza murdered Iskandar, after some time, Raza is then again overthrown himself. Raza is again overthrown himself. He also overthrown himself. But at that time, he wanted to go away from Q to somewhere where no one can recognize him. Okay. As Raza, in the meantime, Raza killed the second son of Chunni, Munni, and Bunni, and the brother of Omar. So Omar was there because Omar was married to Sufia, the daughter of Raza, and Raza wanted to flee away with his wife somewhere to hide. And then Omar told him that the Nishapur is the best place to hide, where no one can recognize him, or no one can recognize them. So Raza is then overthrown himself, and he disguised in women's clothes, and he flees with his wife and Omar to Omar's childhood home, Nishapur. In between, Sufia, Sufia was in the prison because she used to get violent, very violent, and she was kept in a prison. But when these three, Raza, Umar, and Raza's wife, they reached Nishapur, in the meantime, Sufia runs away from prison. There in Nishapur, the three sisters welcomed their only son. They have seen Omar after a long time, and they were very happy. And they were more happy when they saw Raza, because they knew that Raza killed their son Babar, and they wanted to take revenge. They wanted to take revenge of their son's death. So these three sisters, they murdered Raza by they murdered him brutally using dumb water. And at that time, Sufia runs away from prison, and Sufia turned into mythological character, that is White Panther. And that White Panther is haunting for people, and the White Panther was looking for Raza and Omar. This Sufia, then when Sufia comes to Nishapur in search of Omar, Sufia murders her husband, that is Omar, in his own mother's house. Okay, because she became a beast, she became a White Panther, and she murders. So novel ends on that particular note, that there is a fire. It is shown that there is a fire after murdering Omar, and there is a fire in that fort, and there has been instances that fort is shrinking down, or you can say fort is vanishing. Chunni, Munni, and Bunni states that their two rooms and one staircase has been vanishing, and it is shrinking down, and it is going down. So which symbolizes Pakistani rule is come to an end, or you can say Pakistani rule is vanishing or shrinking. So Omar and Sufia also died in the fire. Later on, after the death of Iskandar and death of Raza, Arjuman, the daughter of Iskandar, she came to power through elections, which were not very, you can say, positive elections, but she came to power and she became prime minister. And then finally, that Omar and Sufia also died in fire. Finally, you can see that Sufia converts her shame into energy. Means she lived right from her birth with shame, and Sufia converts her shame into energy. All the women characters have one common quality. All of them wanted to take the revenge, uh, and revenge upon men, or you can say men oriented customs. So in the form of Sufia, Sufia rebel all this men-oriented culture, customs, traditions, which has been shown in Pakistan, and she came out of it. So points to remember is that shame is the political and social undertones represented by the characters in the novel. So the political and social undertones represented by the characters in the novel. Then characters in Shame is portrayed in some way as symbolic of the general history of Pakistan. So we can actually relate with Pakistan's history, though the characters, all these, this is the fiction, but it is modeled upon Pakistan's politics. Sophia experiences unending shame, which begins at birth and haunts her all her life. She faced humiliation, and the humiliation keeps building until it erupts in the form of beast, and that beast punishes all the male offenders. All other minor characters, the women characters, they also want to punish the male characters, but they cannot do that. But Sophia comes and in the form of White Panther, and she punishes all the male offenders. Sophia represents the effort to imagine a different outcome for women and who are the victims of male dominance and violence. Thank you, madam.
Yes, thank you so much, madam, for your very good lecture on Salman Rashdie's Shame. On behalf of Rajkumar Kewalramani Kanya Mahavidyalaya and Department of English, I express humble thankfulness to you. Thank you so much. Your lecture will be definitely a very good help to the students who are preparing for the examination. Thank you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam.